What's up, everyone? I hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. Today, I want to talk about Bungie. We all know Bungie, the makers of Destiny, Destiny 2, Halo, all the FPS that we've loved over the past 20 years, really. As today, Pete Parsons, the CEO of Bungie, released a statement of the mass layoffs that is happening with Bungie. In that blog post where Pete Parsons talked about how many people were affected, why the layoffs happened, and what is Bungie gonna look like in the coming future. The statement goes into the 220 people that have been affected, which is about 17% of the studio. And this is something that was rumored to be happening, and just less than a year after their big layoffs in December, it's happening again. It's kind of crazy. It's something that was rumored because of the low pre-order sales of the final shape, and we know how the final shape ended up coming to be, which is one of the best Metascore games that released this year. But it did really well, and it's to see how many people are affected by this layoff is not surprising. We saw the writing on the wall with the pre-orders, but we kind of had this hope that if Final Shape did well, there's a chance that the studio might keep its development team through all the new Destiny 2 stuff and Marathon, but that's not the case. Pete Parsons then goes on to relay a two-step plan that will restructure how Bungie is going to operate. The first major change was 155 people in Bungie are gonna be pretty much transferred into Sony Interactive. They'll be doing all of the newer Sony interactive games. That's 12% of Bungie's workforce just handed over to Sony. The second major change in the studio is both Bungie and Sony are trying to create a new studio with a new game that's an action game that is set in a brand new sci-fi fantasy world. And as more detail about the story comes out, we see Jason Schreier of Bloomberg reporting that about 40 people within that 150 people transfer from Sony are gonna be integrated with that new studio that they're creating. The concept of a new sci-fi universe, fantasy style, it's just a concept. I want to see where it goes. Pete Parsons continues the statement, going over why the layoffs happened and the reasons that they had to go this route. According to Parsons, for over 5 years, Bungie has been trying to garner this 3 franchise within Bungie. And over time, they spread themselves really thin and had to scale up the development. And during those 5 years, a lot of factors happened. Parsons laid it out to be an economic slowdown, a sharp downturn in the video game industry, and the quality of their last expansion, Lightfall, did not meet what the community wanted and their expectations. And along with that, they had to delay the Final Shape, which is the recent expansion, and Marathon, which is in partnership with Sony, and that hasn't even been shown really for anything. Hearing Parsons lay out this timeline of how he saw these layoffs happening kind of showed us how making multiple video games in a studio can be just insanely challenging, especially when you're doing a lot of things yourself and you don't have a backing of a partner like Sony or Microsoft back in the day. It can be very daunting, and especially when we have something like the economy being freaking just going down the toilet, and all those outside distractions that needed to be there to make a game. It just all came crashing down. The size and scale needed to match with all the incomes that was coming in, and that wasn't the case at all. And it just led us to this massive layoff again, less than like 7-8 months. Carson ends the statement reassuring fans of Destiny 2 that they're continuing to support Destiny 2 and Marathon with the 850 people that they have, and they want to make more great games for everyone to experience. Yeah, this whole thing sucks. We've been seeing layoffs like this happen in freaking droves in the last 2 years, maybe even more. It's fucking crazy. Time and time again, we see layoffs happen because of mismanagement. Scaling up way too early, way too fast, without having the income to support it, and hoping for the income to support it, is something you cannot sustain, especially in a video game industry where budget, deadlines, and timelines are such a huge part of getting a game out for everyone. I hoped after these 2 years, even like a year and a half, that a lot more higher ups can understand that throwing money at things isn't the best way to go at making a product like a video game. But what do you guys think of all the Bungie layoffs? Do you think it was a Bungie management problem, which is like a Sony thing that they kind of seeded within Bungie? It's a lot to process, and I hope that every developer and person that was affected by the layoffs gets the chance to get their feet back and running. They can get opportunities elsewhere. I know that Bungie gave out severance bonuses, health coverages for a couple months maybe, and hopefully that will be enough for those people to land on their feet. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see everyone else on the next news cycle. Peace.